A sound legal education is the bedrock of any good legal practice anywhere in the world. And here in Nigeria, there are two phases to our legal education. There is the university education given by all faculties of law, and then the Nigerian Law School, which handles the professional training of all intending lawyers. On the scale today, we shall be looking at legal education in Nigeria, but not from the prism of the university education, but from the professional angle. And the institution that handles the professional teaching of lawyers is the Nigerian Law School. And so, on the scale, we shall be talking to the Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Isa Hayatu Chiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Welcome to the scale. I am Femi Okeowu. Before we go into that interview, which will form the main crux of our transmission today, let's take some highlights of some events that have been going on in the last few days around us in the justice sector. First, since we're talking about legal education, let's talk to the people who are closest to it after your university education, or in fact, your law school. The National Youth Service Corps is the next place of call. And so they too have a crop of lawyers, some of them practicing already in the NYSC scheme, and some being absorbed after their university education. There is a continuous training process even in the NYSC, and the annual training and conference of lawyers, law officers in the NYSC, and lawyers just coming into the NYSC for service. There is a continuous training process in the NYSC for lawyers, either as corpers who are serving or lawyers who are law officers in the NYSC. A training conference took place in Abuja recently for this crop of law officers, and the scale was there. Here is a lowdown of what happened during the training process. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps was represented by the NYSC Director of Information and Communication Technology, Mrs. Christy Uba.
The aim of this legal officers training is to put them in the right pedestal to be able to render quality legal services to the scheme. And giving our stakeholders, the youths, there are a lot of legal matters that come up. And if they do not have the necessary training and knowledge, they will not be able to defend the scheme accordingly.
Mr. Ahmed Tijani Ibrahim enumerated the intent of the annual legal officers capacity enhancement training.
We have had so many cases. These cases have to do with dismissal, or ones that have to do with the corps members who are saying that their certificates have not been given to them because they did not serve. And there are so many of the cases. There are so many cases. There are many. And we have won so many of them in court. This training will, as a matter of fact, enhance the capacity and the way and manner in which the legal officers are doing their job, because the training is not just for today. We still do another retraining, and by the time those ones leave here, they will go down to sensitize the core members and also teach them what we have taught them here.
The role of a legal officer, of course, is enormous. They represent clients in courts, in civil and criminal matters. They do a lot of legal drafting, as you know. They do a lot of research. And as a legal officer, it's your duty to ensure that you try as much as possible to keep your organization far away from litigation, and you advise them appropriately when necessary.
And now let us also highlight the happenings in the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. That committee has been on recess for close to a year now, due to some misunderstandings and in the composition of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. Now all that has been resolved, and now the body is back with a new set of panel members chaired by a retired judge of the FCT High Court, Justice Ishaq Bello, and they had their first batch of sittings in the last few weeks. We were there on the scale to get you what has been happening in the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee and how they're going to move forward. Here again is a story on the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. The Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee is an integral part of legal practice in Nigeria and has been in existence under the body of benchers for decades now. However, its credibility and effectiveness have fluctuated over the years, with some analysts applauding its performance at some time as being responsible for putting legal practitioners on their toes, but criticizing it at other times as becoming a forum for soft landing for lawyers found to have engaged in misconduct. These conflicting positions came to a climax about a year ago, leading to the resignation of the then chairman of the committee, along with about 4 other members of the panel. Now, with the resolution of various outstanding issues, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee has a new chairman. He is Justice Ishaq Bello, a retired chief judge of the FCT High Court. He leads about 12 other members composed of eminent judges and legal practitioners, all of whom will be constituted into panels for the purpose of their sittings.
Every profession has its professional conduct, rules and guidelines. What is the essence of that? Is to ensure not only protection but the enhancement of the standard of the practice known to that profession. And as lawyers in the legal profession, there are conducts that are proscribed, in other words, prohibited, because they impinge not only on the integrity of the profession, but also the system of justice delivery, which makes it a great concern, not only for the legal profession, but for the Nigerian state and in fact across the globe, because your legal system is the very, very high point or the spectacle through which other countries evaluate your country. If the legal system is very strong, if the legal system is transparent, definitely your country will be on the hallmark of excellence. And you cannot achieve that just like that. You must consistently ensure that such standards set down are observed strictly.
Imagine any society without laws. Imagine piles of laws without the courts to interpret them. Imagine lots of interpretation without a medium to bring them to your doorsteps. The scale on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority helps to fill the gaps and turns law and justice into a tangible instrument for national development. That is the scale, and it is balance.
And now, let's go to the main body of our program, which is the interview with Professor Isa Hayatu Chiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Director General of the Nigerian Law School. So much for him to reveal. Let me allow him to do the talking. Students are not on any of the campuses now.
Yeah, they are not. We just finished Batu examination, and marking is ongoing, and hopefully students will resume in November.
Sir, you always do some stock taking every time there is a call to bar, but let's also use this opportunity to take an overview of your operations so far. How many campuses do we have operational of the Nigerian Law School now?
There are 6 campuses, and the 7th campus is taking up this academic session in Port Harcourt. We have existing campuses in Abuja, Lagos, Enugu, Kano, Yenagoa, and Yola. Yeah.
What's the state of affairs on those campuses? Are you generally satisfied with their state of?
At all. We are just doing the best we can, but I can assure you also that we've been doing the best we can. But fortunately, apart from the normal mega budgetary allocation, we've been talking to a lot of government agencies in the spirit of the inter-agency relationship. I've been getting a lot of support and assistance from sister agencies, ministries, and other parastatals that have better budgetary allocation, members of the profession, senior members, and people of goodwill.
Can the BL program in Nigeria be sustained with government budget?
The way things are going in Nigeria, my thinking is that it's not likely. Because the way it is, it's supposed to be a postgraduate program. It's supposed to be self-funding, self-sustaining. And the fees payable, to say the least, cannot sustain this program. Taking into cognizance also, things have changed. Too many inflationary rates in terms of running costs, diesel, security services, cleaning services, books in the library, cost of running internet facility, and including cost of dinner and cocktails for students. Things have skyrocketed in the last 1 year, and it's becoming very, very unbearable on the Nigerian law school system.
Indeed, you mentioned dinner. Some people are suggesting that the number of dinners should be cut down. Has that reached your desk?
Not quite. If for anything, we'll suggest for increasing number of dinners rather than reducing.
Okay.
It's a process of training lawyers, and it's practical. And our thinking is that maybe we should even increase 1 more dinner.
That would make it 3.
4.
4 then.
Yes.
You still you have 3 in existence
yes.
now. Okay. Now let's look at the fees being paid by these students. While you say that you still have funding difficulties, students are saying that fees are really high.
Well, even if you ask students to come and do law school free of charge, students will complain. The current regime of fees has been in existence for over 10 years, maybe 15 years. And I'm sure you can, it's self-explanatory.
Yes.
We know there are students who are from poor background who cannot pay, a lot of them. We understand this. But our thinking is that there should be like a scholarship scheme from state governments, from individuals, other bodies. Students also should swallow their pride. We are looking for cleaners, we are looking for gardeners, security men. That's what happens all over the world. You work to pay your school fees. Nigerian students should swallow their pride and work like they do in UK or US, anywhere all over the world. That's what they do. Why should Nigeria be different? We know there are people who cannot pay, but there are avenues through which they can pay their school fees. If they work for it, they earn money and pay.
Now let's look at the curriculum of the Nigerian law school. How updated is it?
Femi, you see, the problem in Nigerian law school is that we are not expected to talk. We are expected to do our own work. Okay. The rumor going around is that our curriculum is archaic. We don't improve. After every academic session, we converge to do what we call academic retreat, to do self-assessment, to look at the way forward. What we've taught in the last 1 year, is there need to improve? Are there new laws, regulations? Are there happenings all over the world that we need to look at and incorporate into our own curriculum? That's what we do every year. I have no issue with our own curriculum. The issue is the training in the Nigerian university system. Most of the students have spent like 5 years in the university system. They spend less than 1 year here. People expect us to remedy the defect that has been going on for the last 5 years. It's very difficult. But I must commend NYSC, the move to look at the new curriculum, the CCA core curriculum of Nigerian universities. That's what they call CCMAS. Yes. It's very revolutionary. It introduced a lot of things. It has also given the universities, the deans, the teachers, a lot of leverage. About 30% of the courses being taught in the university now. The faculty can decide what to teach. Okay. So it depends on what they want to do. So the ball is in our own court as teachers.
Yes. When these students, after graduating from universities, come to law school, it is easier for you to detect the defects in the students. Do you make input into the university curriculum?
Yes, we do. When the CCA mass was to be reviewed, we were invited. We made our own submissions. We've told them these are the challenges. It's like somebody stepping from staircase. We know what the issues are. These are the major challenges in the university system. If you correct this, when they come here, things will be better. We'll be communicating. Rather than the university will be sitting down doing its own things its own way, and we'll be doing our own. But I think there will be improvement very soon.
And the law school is actually the ceiling point for the profession. The law school is the one that determines when you become a professional. Yeah. Let's look at the curriculum, the professional curriculum.
Yes.
How are these students coping with that practical part of it?
Well, in the last few years, you've seen the result from the law school. There are students here, even if you don't teach them, they are first-class material. They are second-class upper. There are students also, no matter how you teach, you can't correct, you can't, because the foundation is defective. It's normal, not only in law profession, every other profession. But what we do is we try as much as possible to tell them things are done differently here. That's the reason why our teaching and pedagogy is practical in nature, so that they appreciate what is in store for them. After leaving this place, these are things you are going to be confronted with in real life situation. That's what we've been doing. But the issue, like I've told you, they've spent most of the time in the Nigerian university, and with the new CCMAS, I'm sure things will improve.
When you see lawyers found guilty of misconduct or misbehave, do you feel that it is they did not get the proper teaching at the law school, or it's a general behavioral matter in Nigeria?
Well, it's not peculiar to law profession. Every other profession, you have quack doctors. Quack in courts, yes. Doctors who have been trained, properly trained, but what they do outside is different. Engineers, they cut corners. You have pharmacists who sell drugs to drug addicts. The same thing even in the legal profession. You train them, they know the expectations, they know the ethics, but when they go out, they do something different. I'm not sure you know, in the last few years, what has been happening here? Lawyers coming to write examination for students in Nigerian law school. Is it because they don't know that it's wrong? Is it because they don't know the rules and regulations? They know. But they are the black sheep of this profession.
What do you do to such students?
Obviously.
Criminal trials or something?
Criminal trials. The last one, they are on trial, so I don't want to comment on that matter, okay. But we'll file the matter to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. It's been prosecuted by the DPP. We have another one just recently in Enugu campus. We prosecute. The students also come before the Students' Misconduct Committee. It goes to council. The matter is strict liability. 10 years ban. Obviously, you can imagine.
Okay, or they go to the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee.
Or the lawyers also, after they go to LPDC. Okay. That's it. We are doing the best we can, but these are black sheep of every profession. You see them, every profession, not only legal profession.
Okay. Now, after a long drawn contestation with the Open University of Nigeria, yes. The Nigerian Law School eventually admitted a number of graduates from the Open University for the law BL program. You organized a remedial program, yes. for them. What is the update of these set of students?
Well, our plan was that they will come here and do 1 year remedial. Then when the situation availed itself, we admitted into the Bar 2 program. They just finished the remedial program. The result has been processed, so we're about to release the results. Okay. Yeah.
And do they have a time for the Bar 2 program?
No. It's when the situation availed itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your discussion? Have you been able to talk to the Nigerian Open University about their program?
No, Open University is aware. You see, this matter has been lingering for over maybe 7-8 years. I inherited it. And it's a matter I was determined to resolve. And this matter was resolved on certain conditions. It went through the Council of Legal Education, through the MB and NEC, through the body of benchers. NYSC is aware. The Honorable Attorney General, Minister of Justice is aware. CJN, every other person who is a major stakeholder, we agree on certain conditions. Open University must adhere to no more admissions. Law program must stop. Your students will go and do remedial program. They're expected to do externship. These are the conditions. If Open University goes ahead to do anything contrary to this, you know what the consequences are. It's not about me. It's about our own profession.
What are the consequences?
Obviously. The consequences basically is that they pay for it. NYSC is aware. Every other major stakeholder in legal education is aware. Chairman body of benchers, yeah. Chairman council of legal education, MBA president. These are not people that you play with.
They pay for it by you stopping.
We've stopped admission. Everybody is aware, okay. Including the regulatory agency, the NYSC.
So how about the ones who have already started the remedial program?
Obviously, like I've said, Femi, I think you are an interested party here. You want to corner me to say when they will come here. I said when the situation avails itself, okay. when we have the opportunity to bring them here. Okay. Yeah.
I just want to know, in case of those who are already in, they think they are in, so they don't want to join the set of people who are still being admitted by...
No, Femi, get this thing yes. right. There are about 1,883 students.
Okay.
Most universities, their quota is no more than 50. You don't expect me to wake up in the morning and admit 1,883 students because they are Open University.
Okay. So.
Even if we are going to give Open University accreditation to start a law program, we won't give them more than 50. 1,800 is their admission quota for over 20 years in Nigerian law school. So don't worry about what others said. We are a body governed by rules and regulations. We are a body established by law. We know what our responsibility is. NYSC is aware. Everybody here who is a major stakeholder is aware of what we are doing. So there's no issue there.
We shall be continuing this interview in our subsequent edition. There are still a few more areas we could not sort out in this edition. And so in the subsequent edition, we shall be playing those areas for you. They are areas that are important to all practitioners and indeed all citizens in Nigeria. Citizens, because you need to have a background of the kind of training that the lawyers go through in Nigeria and how it impacts on the society. For now, I want to say thank you for being part of today's program. There will be more issues and we shall not miss out on them as we have shown in this edition. We'll see you again.